Going on, world? It's your boy. Man, this makes me look short. Oh, okay. I feel like. All right, there we go. I'm like, yo, man, what am I doing here, man? I feel like, hi guys, like, what's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Game. This is Big Games BS, part of Den Media Group, presented by the MFTK Foundation. MFTK Foundation is the go-to foundation for everything that I'm doing in this world. It's the reason why I'm able to be who I am. When people say you're a bad person, I'm like, man, go look at my website. go check out the MFTK Foundation. I am, but I'm also I do way more good than I do bad. So, or I try to. Um, we got a couple things. Today I'm gonna go. I got 4 whole packs, man, that I got to try to move. I think it's 4 packs I'm gonna try to move. I want to give away turkey. I'm giving away turkey meals to people, um, to a couple families. So if anybody under the sound of this voice, or you know somebody, they have to be in Jacksonville. I can't do shit about anybody anywhere else. But if they're in they're in the Jacksonville area, and they're on hard times, man, I want to give them some. I want to give them some grub. They got to cook it. I'm not gonna cook it, but I'll give you the stuff. I give you the supplies, and you take from that what you will. So it's good stuff. Thank you to the law office of Ron Scholes for helping with that, to make sure that we can make sure everybody gets the opportunity to live like the Tupac song, And he said, "Mama made miracles every Thanksgiving." You ain't even got to be like I don't even have to be Mr. Nate to you. I just want to be, I want to be big game. I don't want nothing from you besides to help and to bless. We also have the showcase coming up. Today will be a week. It will be a week of announcements that you don't have to post that right now. We'll talk about that. I just actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll skip that and we'll talk about that in the MFTK segment. Um, Hopefully everybody. Hold on. Talking to one of the people who's gonna come and Asher Gito. Um, but big thing is you know, we might need you guys. We might need to come together as a Den Media Group community. And I don't want anything bad to happen, but we do need to make sure people raise awareness of exactly what it is. I do a terrible job of communicating the deal that I am. So I want all of us to do a better job of doing that coming here in 2026 and moving past that. Um, so that we get into the show because I have a 11 o'clock call that I have to be on with Pylon about 7-on-7 feet matters and other things. I want to start this show off the same way we start the show off each and every day with a good old fashioned word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
All right, let's no Jaden today. He's with us in spirit. It's Thanksgiving week, so people gotta take the holiday break. I should have asked Germany if she wanted to hop on, but if you guys didn't check her out, I put up her post, man. Like she's gonna do numbers, dog. Did you see the YouTube reel? And she tagged us in her stuff on IG. But I put it up late last night, and she already got actually after midnight, and it got like 1.2 already. It's just her talking about Mandarin. Imagine when we get her talking about other stuff that's bigger than that. It helps that she's not. She's very intelligent, very smart. She's also pretty, so that helps. But actually, it looked like her and I think it's the complexion that her and Jaden could be some kin together. But with all that being said, we have our MFTK segment. We have the MFTK High School Showcase, Mandarin U recap, and a preview for what's coming forward for them. NCAA talk. A lot of stuff going on. I think that segment's going to go a little long. So, if you have your thoughts, your comments, and your prayers for FSU and what you think is going to go on, I'll give you my opinion, along with what I think is going on. But at the end of what I've learned after the last couple weeks is that nobody knows what's going on, including the people in the know. And I'm not talking about your beat writers. I'm talking about compliance. I'm talking about the people who are the ones responsible for writing checks, HR, all of that shit. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on over in Tallahassee like that. It's actually really wild when you sit back and you think about it, because it shouldn't be. It feels like we're making it harder than what it needs to be. So we'll talk about FSU and all things FSU related. Top 25 matchup scores. We'll look at the AP poll. We'll talk about Lane Kiffin and the drama surrounding that, and really how Ole Miss is feeling like FSU, great value FSU was during the Jimbo Fisher era. Brothers fight, but damn, I don't know like this. We'll talk about the NFL. We'll talk about the Jaguars. I did do a deep dive with Duval Dive. That's on our channel as well. If you want some actual just good insight on the Jacksonville Jaguars, we have that with me and Travis Holmes. AFC contender remaining games. It's a big race. Very competitive division this year. Patriots got 10 wins, so they're in. Little brother became big brother. Jameis balls out. The Chiefs helped the Jaguars. Shadur, we got some Shadur news, so we're going to talk about that. Jackson Smith, Njigba. Jackson Smith is that Njigba. Cowboys win. NFC South Showdown. Sunday Night Football. Uke guaranteed money voided. Josh Allen news, and then we got big games BS with the BS or bussin' segment, and I'll talk about if we get to halftime, I'll put myself in the OG Wildland segment. So let's go ahead and start it off with the way what we were talking about, the MFTK High School Showcase. December 20th, we will have that. We'll have some of the best talent in the Southeast descending upon Jacksonville, Florida to hang out. You see the list of people that we already have committed. We got another one that just committed from the Atlanta metro area, a young man by the name of Casey Barner. Let me read Casey Barner's stats to you. If you want to look up his profile real quick, Miles, while I'm reading this, just so they can see a picture of him. Maybe we have some video of him balling out. But Casey Barner, he's coming. He was part of C1N last year. 2028 safety. He's a 4-star for Powder Springs, Georgia. He's a 5-star in the 247 composite. So that brings us to 3 5-stars, I believe, attending this event, with more coming. He has offers from Auburn, Florida State, Georgia, and Georgia Tech. So, FSU might not ask me about this young man, but he is there. That's an awesome one. We will get more guys who there. He's a ESPN Top 100, Max Preps All-American. It'd be fun to see these guys going after each other coming down here on December 20th in Jacksonville, Florida, at, I hope, the University Christian School. But it would be a great event. We also have 5-on-5 O-line D-line competition. The 15U competition will be held on earlier that day. This one will be under the bright lights, a lot of competition. We just gonna make sure we do everything that's necessary the way we need to do it. So yeah. We go on to the next thing. Mandarin actually. Yeah, we go to Mandarin University. We won. We made it 42-35. I want to call it a shootout against Pace, but Pace, it was really one offense that was the balanced offense won out. Pace is an incredible program. Remember, I was telling you I had a little hesitation. I didn't know what to think. They have 3 Division I offensive linemen on their roster. Like, this is the best O-line we've faced since IMG. And boy, they got a running back, number 20. Boy, is that kid explosive. That young man is a powder keg. He is really, really good. And I mean, bro, it was like 3rd and 30 one time, and he ran for a first down. Like, that doesn't even that's just confidence in your offense and your personnel grouping. You're going to live and die by whatever it is you want to. But as I tell people over and over again, we have a sheer abundance of just brute force and bullets that we can just shoot at you over and over again that most high schools do not have. And our defense has been good in all games but like 2. And we've got some, we're about as healthy as you could be. But man, they definitely we've spotted the team points again. Our special teams has been the Achilles heel since we've been at Mandarin. But we've got some guys that are pretty that are pretty good. So I mean, B5 had a great day, but B5 has missed like 2 games this year. Here's what I always tell people: we only had 207 yards of passing yards. 207 yards of passing yards. We had 343 yards rushing. I hate when people say, but you know what B5 doesn't play? Running back. It's offensive. B5 is amazing. They have amazing players as well. We have a quarterback that's going to college. We have B5. We have 2 running backs that'll be going to college next year. We have a wide receiver that's going to college this year. Will Jones will be going to college. We have an offensive line. We have 1 guard that's committed to Morgan State, 1 tackle that's committed to Morgan State. Our center is committed to Central State. Let's be real. We had a 14-year-old playing tackle. The kid ain't even got a mustache yet. But for those who are Florida State fans, his father was Ronnie Lucky Lumford. He was a 5-star prospect out of AOI High School. We have cats. We also have on the defensive side, we have some really, really amazing players. Kendrick Outland. You have Monster Son. We have Tamaj Mitchell. We have the kid who really doesn't get a lot of love, but he's really, really good, by the name of Izzy. We have some talent. And the scary part is we have even more coming up. Like coming up the pipe. We have body types. We have good kids. As long as I'm around, even if it doesn't matter, Toby Bullock is my guy. So we're going to continue to push. We're going to continue to promote. And, these young men are doing the right things in the classroom and in the community. So we'll go. But yeah, so that's but that is we will have the full broadcast uploaded. We had some issues with YouTube, but man, biggest stream we've had to date, Miles. We have 543 people watching at one point. And it was really good. We'll have the highlights posted from the game. But it's gonna log jam the channel. Like, so what I need everybody to do is go look for Big Games Gridiron. That's where we're gonna start populating a lot of our stuff. We will have lacrosse. We will have a lot of other different things that we're going to stream. That is my goal. Still have some. We give us some positive critiques. Like, don't just say this shit sucks. Like, just give us a good. Like, I'm looking for a good. Like, we had the score, we had the time. I want something that's a little bit nicer, a little nicer graphic that moves with it. So we have some, like I said, we have some good stuff going on with that. I enjoy it. It's and my play-by-play guy is the best play-by-play guy in the nation. And we will continue to get better as we continue to put the product out there. The proof is in the production. I just really wish that people could really all come together, but it sometimes everybody. But my guy Style said sometimes everybody doesn't see the vision. So, but going to, I think we got a preview of the next week's games. In Jacksonville, well, man, Justin Barney like left out one big one, but maybe he just knows that one's going to that's going, or maybe what time was he posted? Now the game should have been over, but Mandarin, we're 11-1. We're traveling to Gainesville Buchholz, who's also a really good team. So I'll be in Hogtown on Friday after Thanksgiving. Mainland High School travels to Ponte Vedra High School. That should be a good test for Ponte Vedra. I used to coach at Ponte Vedra. Very, 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 very good community. And when they have talent, they just do what they're coached to do very, very well. I have no idea who Big Green Indian is, but they're going to St. Augustine High School, which is a really, really good program. One of the best programs in the area. With shout out to Samari and Wingo. Rains High School is also going to be playing Bishop Kinney at Rains, and that should be a slaughter. Rains won't have a challenge until they play in the 4th round, and that all of us have tested that 4th round. If we win, when we win, we'll probably be hosting again, and we're looking to host West Boca. And West Boca basically has their version of Bryson Wright. The both of them started this tweaking shit. So the tweakers would tweak if we beat. I don't know if that's pause worthy or whatever. But good high school football nonetheless. Congratulations to everybody who's made it to this point, to the Elite Eight. There are hundreds of schools in every division that are right now spending time with their families for Thanksgiving. I appreciate my boys for allowing me not to spend time with my family for Thanksgiving. So, or too much time. But kudos to all of those young men. And we'll go from there. Nah, we're good. Fridays are made for high school football. They are not made for college football. Florida State lost to North Carolina State in a situation where they just can't. Florida State just can't get it right. We're not making the right adjustments, and I don't know if it's the coaching or the culture. But there's always sayings that we have, buzzword bingo. You're either coaching it or you're allowing it. I didn't watch the game because I already had a rough Friday, and I was coaching. Well, I was watching. I was participating in high school sports, and whatever's going on that's in that locker room or in that culture has to change, because what makes this sad is Miami literally manhandled this team the week before. It's why I don't like looking at the injury report before games. You know why? The more names that are out, the more likely the other team is going to win. And I hate it. I hate it. And I just, you cannot make me believe that this team is not more talented than most of the teams that they played on the schedule. You cannot make me believe that this is not at least an 8-win team. You cannot make me believe that this team is worse than Stanford consistently. That this team is worse than most. I will concede Clemson and Miami. But you're not going to be able, this is coming from a guy who is a big Mike Norvell fan as a man. And I think one of the biggest problems that we're running into as a fan base and as a staff and an administration is that we're running into, we like these guys. You fired Tag. This has nothing to do with Mike. You fired Tag because you didn't like him. And he didn't win. But you try to put it under the guys that he didn't win. As high as we had a moment, we've had lower lows. This is a toxic relationship. And scroll up, actually, Miles, put the Aaron Fernandez burner. Click on that. Because none of this shit matters when it comes down to business. Not that, my bad. The tweet. I just want to blow that tweet up and can we scroll in a little bit. Because people love to say, yeah, that's fine. Say these things when you're being critical of what is put on the field. Like, we do not use these excuses for when my Starbucks order isn't right and I say I want better, I want more, or give it to me again. Nobody comes up to the barista and says, remember, you're just not attacking a barista, but a father, a husband, and a Christian. What the fuck does that have to do with my coffee? They're not attacking him. It feels like an attack because you want to like him and you want him to be successful. I want all of those things for him. But to quote a guy that I really like, the standard is the standard. And he knows he's not living up to the standard, and he knows none of that stuff mattered. Nobody's attacking how well he treats his wife. It seems like he treats her very good. Nobody's attacking how he treats his daughter. His daughter is the apple of his eye. You see him at the end of every game. They're there for their father and their husband. And I don't know anything about his faith. Maybe he is a good Christian. Maybe he's not. I know he has a great foundation that gives back to Tallahassee and a lot of different things, and he supports his players. But his players aren't supporting him, and I don't know why. I don't know what any of those things have to do with what's putting on the field. Because what's going on the field does not make any sense. And it's time for us to bring in the old, but adapt to the new. We need more standard bearers around. I do like that they kept the media out a little bit, but we saw kind of some of the writing on the wall last week. I was hoping he would have won, though. But when people that were right, like, they were very mean-spirited with their words this year. And they had the right to be. You were 2-10 the year before. But, like, when people were mean-spirited and then all of a sudden they started talking nice, it makes me start wondering what the hell is going on. And I started saying, like, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back. I wouldn't be mad if he comes back. I wouldn't be mad. I'm not mad that he's coming back. What I'm mad is that I don't think Crapper, go all in or go all out. If Mike is going to be here, fully fund the NIL, and I know we have a robust NIL. Fully fund, but we need more off-field staff. We need more relationships. We need more people who know how to get to the people that will turn this thing around. The man needs help. And bigger than that, we need an auditor of the program so that the man knows where he needs help. It goes back to what a good friend of mine talked to me about. He was potentially taking the GM job at the University of Florida this year, but he declined. And he told me why he declined. He declined taking the job because they wanted him to answer directly to the coach. And as a guy with NFL experience, he knows that is not how the game is supposed to work. He reports to the owner. What probably needs to happen is the athletic director, great athletic director. He's been good at everything else. He didn't hire this head coach. He did extend him, but You did what you're supposed to do when the guy went 13-1 and Alabama comes calling. And you're kind of blindsided. But you need to hire associate athletic director in charge of football operations or in charge of football development. And that's what your GM does. And then now you clean up and you make it more of an NFL structure. You have your high school personnel, and that's where it needs to be more robust with recruits, with scouts in different areas that are giving you eyes and grades on different players and sending up different guys so that they can really focus on them more, learning the different idiosyncrasies, learning the different things about these kids, what makes them tick, who do we need to really talk to, not going out here and just trying to treat things like it's street hustling. 707 has never been more prevalent than it is in today's society. Who are the trainers? Who are the 707 guys that actually do good business? And then you need to remain in communication with them just as much as you remain in communication with the athletes, because a lot of us get asked the questions after you call the damn athlete. Hey, coach, I heard they firing him. Hey, coach, I got offered $1 million. Is this real? Hey, coach, I got offered this. Hey, coach, and then, or they get hit and they go try to find the answers, but you don't involve the people who are the standard bearers. And then wonder why you miss out on some things. But I think a couple tweaks in Florida, just like if the ball bounced a different way a couple times, a couple tweaks in the program, and you'll see these guys back to 10 and 13 win seasons. I do happen to believe in Mike. But I also believe in what I see on the field, so I'm not mad either way when people say that the man should be fired or when people say that the man should stay the same. I also know that a lot of you guys are bitching about buying tickets and not supporting the program, and I know that doesn't help either. So that's why I'm listening to when they want me to renew my tickets. I'm going to renew them, even though the game slate stinks in comparison to what it was this year. I'm going to renew my tickets, and I'm also going to probably join the Bowden Society, and I'm also going to probably buy West Club seats. Because I don't want to be in Gen Pop. And I also know TV dollars is really where it's at. And we're still going to get the lion's share of the TV dollars because we're still the most watched program in the ACC, even though we're bad because people lined up to see the Titanic sinking. But I'm scroll down so we can see something. I know we got to have comments in this so we can have dialogue. But what I do know is that I'll go put that up there. The big game, you talk often about the glory days of the men you played under. I don't want nice guys. I want killers. You got to have some. And it starts off with having a wartime. One of my favorite movies is The Godfather. Sonny's getting ready to go. He's got Tom, and Tom is trying to advise him the right way. And he says, God damn it, I wouldn't be in this position if I had a wartime consigliere. Pop had Genco. Look at what I got. We need Gencos. We need Luca Brasi's. We need crash outs. But bigger than that, we need coaches that guys have a healthy fear of. Not just respect and admiration, but a fear of. I never feared Bobby. I just knew he was a bad man. And the reason why I knew he was a bad man is because he had bad men that followed him. Like, if we're being honest, man, you think Mickey, have you seen Mickey Andrews? That's a bad man. Chuck Amata. Bobby had even Jimbo had coaches who were characters in of themselves that were just as big as the damn head coach. Y'all talk about Jeremy Pruitt to this day. And he was only at Florida State for 1 year when we won the Natty. Mark Stoops was a big personality when he was here. And he built that defense that Jeremy Pruitt was able to take to the next level. We have Odell. Odell is an OG. And Odell is like that good grandfatherly guy now to these kids. You want to hear stories. But we got guys more popping off more on social media than they are cracking heads in practice. And that comes sometimes from you not having the abundance of talent that you need because you can replace. But that comes down to recruiting and not listening to people who understand what the standard is. And when they call you and they tell you, recruit this kid. This kid is a competitor. This kid wants to be here. This kid is talented. Stop recruiting prima donnas that are only happy with the check. There are kids who are going to be happy with the check and happy with competing. You know how I know? I coach one. There are a lot more kids like that are out here that you just got to go find. And you find it by minding it and by actually having trusted sources that you can listen to that will tell you exactly what it is and what it ain't. Not ones that you argue with. No, that can't be this. All right, go to the next thing. My bad, man. I just, it perplexes me. I don't even want. Oh, you know what? Let's look at the box. Again, 32 passing attempts, entirely too much. 34 rushing attempts. You did decent. You just didn't move the ball. There, like CJ Bailey looked good against us. But even offensively, they didn't really do much. I mean, so you're just saying we just couldn't score. We have a top 10 offense against crackerjack defenses. And the cool thing is, I will say that most of the fan base is very consistent. They wanted Fuller fired day one before he even coached the play. And they have not been impressed with Tony White outside of the Alabama game. They got to get better. But they're not going to get better because they're not going to get better until something changes. Excuse me. Something has to give. Something has to really legitimately change in the context of how we run things, in the context of how we, and unfortunately, sometimes major change looks like firings. Or it needs to at least be an obscene amount of capital put behind things to where it makes people too big to fail. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody just offered me something. But I'm just perplexed. Going down to the Mike Norvell news, please. Yesterday, Saturday, Friday, I was being told, and the reason why I try not to break news like that anymore is because I just don't care. And I know these situations are fluid and are way more complicated than just fire the guy. Push down in the comments, Miles. They just fired the guy. On Friday, I was told he was going to be fired regardless if we win or not. I said, okay. I got bigger shit to deal with. I got bigger shit to deal with. Then Saturday, I get a text from a guy that I really trust that it has nothing to do with sports. He understands the X's and O's of the financial matters. And I'll go over some of that convo there. And I was like, if this guy's talking to me, then maybe it's a little bit more real. And I was sad because I like Mike. I'm even more sad with this picture that they posted. You know why? That hoodie is fire. That's a fire ass hoodie. Mike has the best swag, the best FSU swag. It makes me like they don't even sell that shit. And then Sunday hits, and I'm at Football University workouts for my middle school stuff. I'm an assistant GM there and acquiring talent. And I said, damn, they're going to do it. And then 12 o'clock hits, and my guy, Kobe, Bryson Wright's dad, B5's dad, says, it's 12:30. They ain't fired him yet. They're not firing him. Then you know what it comes out after that? This. And again, I'm not mad. I don't really care. But I want him to go all in or go all out. The information I got is that when you really look at the totality of Florida State, right? Don't look. I know what we believe as fans, we see really big numbers, right? We have done this. We had we were nerding out when Florida State was talking about this lawsuits and all these different things. I don't think you guys understand just how much money universities generate outside of sports. Sports is the best marketing that you could do for a university. Universities grow because their athletic programs are better. They're on the scene. More people are finding out who they are. The guy who I know was telling me, hey, I just got a call to try to help find out some of the financing of a buyout. I also know that HR was going through some of their things that they needed to go through. For the likely, like, you got to plan for this stuff. You don't just wake up one day, boom, you're fired. He said this, and this was when I got a little concerned. He said really there hasn't been a lot of conversation between both sides, but the president and the board chair are done with this. And they're not counting on outside money to pay it, so the university has to come up with it. So the university has to make university decisions that are bigger than football. They have it. They're just trying to figure out the best way to do it. And here it is. Is a frustration in the admin because that's a $50 million mistake that could get them fired. Not just the football people fired, but the people who handle the money get fired. They don't have it, but they can figure it out. And here's the crazy part. Florida State, everybody knows about the Florida State acquiring TMH. I don't think anybody really knows that much about Florida State building a hospital, I think, in Panama City for $400 million. On top of the football-only facility. On top of other shit. The last thing you need is another $50 million line item that you have to finance. In the landscape of trying to create funds to make your university overall better, and which I've told you guys numerous times that the decree for Florida State is to be the flagship program in the state of Florida. So our med school is going to probably with two hot, like they see what Florida's doing. Florida has Gainesville, and then they also have Jacksonville. Shans. They even built a campus downtown Jacksonville. So you have to go find your way to do the exact same thing. Florida is middle of the state to the west, to the east. FSU is middle of the state north. Then they went west. It's a similar trajectory. I know it doesn't feel good as a fan base. It doesn't feel good if you like football. It doesn't feel good if you like sports. But it's what's the good of the university. And maybe if we put $20 million into him, maybe it can fix it. Maybe it won't. Who knows? But I do know with this comes guys who are looking at we are looking at guys who coaches who are looking out for their best interest because they can see the writing on the wall. Right now, Gus Malzahn is being talked about as being a head coach. Tony White has been talked about being a head coach. Good sayonara, good riddance. But I do know that we keep talking about recruiting and what it's going to do to hurt recruiting. And the names that people were thinking about were not going to help recruiting. But what we have to do is find a better way to recruit. Florida's getting recruits not because of who the coach is. They're getting the recruits because of who the program is, which means what are the things that they're going to be able to do that line up with the things that you want to do in the end of the day. And you got to pay the right people. But they got some really good people. And I know this, a lot of people aren't, like, you can't keep making bad decisions. But the reason why I tell people, everybody says NIL is what's ruining football. The unchecked payment of coaches is what's ruining football. Put a cap limit on what coaches can be guaranteed and then have everything else incentive based. And you will see everything change exponentially overnight. Oh, my bad. Also, did y'all know FSU's open? Like, I guess we got a brand new College of Business. Like, we just renovated that. It's a lot of construction going on over in Tallahassee. Devin put, I've heard everything but them ready to run you 250. They are not trying to give me my $250,000. But I also don't know how often this stuff works, because when you have, it's like who's really in control in this situation? Is it a figurehead? I don't know, man. But like I don't wish any extra stress on Miguel Blanco, because I actually like Coach Norvell. Jared put, I heard Mike gave back another $4 million, but the forms are dumb as shit. So I don't know, man. If that man did that again, that man is a more honorable person than I know. I'm just not. Nah, I haven't heard about. Oh, my bad. And then my boy Tiny has says, "Have you heard about the scout team we only have being a handful of people?" I have not. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not letting them fuck up my weekends. I cover the Jags for a living. I'm not a beat writer. I see why those guys are orny and skinny and pessimistic. I'm just chilling. Not gonna fuck up my Saturdays. My Saturdays are meant for youth football. Nah, all jokes aside, man. Like, if that's the case, they got to go find people who want to be there, man. I tell you what, I'm not doing. You wrote that fucking check. You think I'm gonna give you money back after you gave it to me? Man, you out of your goddamn mind. Only thing you might be able to convince me to is bet on myself. I'm going to force you to fire me. Devin Wolf, they don't see that 7-on-7 you've putting together in the show. Bro, dog, hey, our little youth team has got a stick. Like, we got some of the best kids in the, like, it's some cats. And I'm gonna develop a relationship with these kids, and I'm gonna try to mentor. We're gonna try to put them in good spots. But like, what do I know? Like, I tell y'all, they go like my friend Bernie is the one they call it Mandarin, the Miami fan. They don't call the Florida State alumni, the player that played at Florida State. They call Bernie. If Florida State recruits my son, they're gonna call Bernie. They're not gonna call me to see what insights do you have to get Trey Colbert. You're gonna call Bernie. Hey, your nephew was looking good in practice last week. He's like starting to, like, he's slimmed up and got a little taller, stretched. So he's not moving as fast with the pads because I think I didn't get him some strength. But like we gotta explode. He's moving without the pads. But 247 said our scout team is so small and doesn't really even communicate with Norvell. That's why our evals and recruiting, our scout staff, yeah, it is very small. They communicate with Norvell. That's not true. Like I know Devin, I know G Ross. They do a good job of talking to these guys, but it is small in comparison to other programs. They should have hired Hove, but Hove's at Texas now, so a big game breakdown on the new edge commitment. Oh, don't worry about it, Gerard. Trey's gonna be that. Trey ain't gonna be that. Ain't gonna be. They don't make petite Negroes in my stock. Now, will he be tall? If he's tall, he's not mine. But he's mine at that point. It's too late. I didn't put that many years into him. I love it a little more. I love him. He acts too much like me for me not to believe that. Who is the new Chris? It's got to look this. Check the next thing. I think maybe Jaden put the On3 thing for that. That's the read. Click on, blow that up. We'll give it that, and let's look for the. I'll pull it up. I'll pull mine up on my phone. Blow that up so if people can actually see it, they're watching this on their screens, they can read it. And then go look for people on FSU football, like whoever our newest commit is. Because I didn't watch him. I ain't gonna hold you. We'll all find out if he's good together. Andre Allison puts out the statement. Florida State University today announced that Mike Norvell is being retained as head football coach. With support from FSU leadership, Norvell has pledged to institute fundamental changes in specific areas to improve performance to meet FSU's championship standards. FSU Board of Trustees Chairman Peter Collins, Vice President and Director of Athletics Mike Alford, and I are in complete agreement that changes are needed to our program to improve. Dr. Richard McCullough. Coach Norvell embraces our support in that process and agrees that success must be achieved. He continues to demonstrate an unwavering belief in the program's future, and so do we. The decision reflects a unified commitment to competing in the rapidly evolving landscape of college football while maintaining continuity within the program. The program has been built on belief, sacrifice, and putting the team first, Norvell said. The set of values has always guided my actions and those of our players. The driving motivation behind this is to make certain that we are doing everything properly to obtain and retain elite players at critical pieces and sustain long-term success. I love Florida State, and I am committed to this program and our shared goals. In addition to addressing the reality that the on-field results have been far from acceptable to the FSU standard, we also realize our responsibilities as stewards of program revenues and how to best allocate those dollars to compete at an elite level, something we will not compromise. As stewards of program revenues and how to best allocate those dollars to compete at an elite level, this is business. Is there more I'm missing? Yeah, this is business. And I'll say this, the last line that Mike Norvell put out there, I fully understand. I fully believe it. I love Florida State, and I am fully committed to this program and our shared goals. One thing that I will encourage everybody to do, right before, as we look up this athlete so we can give the breakdown, as I said, I'm going to purchase I say what I want to say because nobody gives me tickets. Now, they do give me sideline passes, and I appreciate that. The Champions Club is pretty lit. And with our Discord, we'll probably start sharing games anyway. So, like, we'll do all kinds of different cool shit next year once I get more energy in me and more of a staff. So, I do know there's some things that I want to do in the off season that would be fun. I do want to do my show with Tiny Hat that can let me do things that aren't just football related. We could just wild out. That's KP9317. Those who need somebody to subscribe to and follow. He's awesome guy. We can have a good time talking shit together. I just think people need to really understand that regardless of who's at helm, have respect for the logo and ride it out and treat this for what it is. It's entertainment. Yeah. Hold on. For the Piccolo Sniper, I can't speak on that Piccolo Sniper as of right now. I will know if I can talk about that after one, but as of right now, I don't want to get in any more trouble than I am already in for my job that pays me $1,419.23. Um, Dustin says so. Demod Lewis, he looks demented. All right. Oh, he's from North Carolina. All right, let's look at his offers. Not mad at him. Nebraska does a good job. NC State's whipped our ass. They do a good job. So, okay, some of the small schools that do a pretty good job of looking at things. So let's check this out. That's good size right there. All right, let's look at him. 6'4", 245. And I'm sure they're going to show a commercial. Okay. I wouldn't have led with that highlight, but that's okay. Oh, he's a tight end too. But he can scoop. He caught that? Oh, wow. That was a terrible throw by the quarterback. All right. Okay. I'm liking that. Stand up in. Oh, no. He wasn't standing up. What I'm not liking is the ferocity in which he brings him to the ground, but I think that could be worked on. That shouldn't have been on there. That could have been later in the highlight. Oh, okay. No, come, bro. You're supposed to. That's supposed to be infirmary type action when you get that kind of blow up. I'll watch a couple more clips. All right. The good. We could keep letting it play because maybe I'll find something that'll just make me say, ooh. The good, I like his takeoff. I like his get off on the ball. At worst, if he doesn't work as a DN, he can go over and play tight end. There are things that he does that are impressive. I don't know what level of football he's playing in North Carolina, but there are traits that you can't that you clearly want to make sure that you have, and he's got size. He's able to shoot gaps, and whatnot. What I don't like is that I'm not seeing violence. I'm seeing havoc, but I'm not seeing violence, and that's what bothers me. So I'm not mad at it. You get 100+ people. If he wants to be here and he's going to work hard, good. Let's get some guys that could develop and then start, taking our shots at the elite guy, the elite guys. So I need guys who have, one of my favorite. Everybody who knows me knows my favorite rapper is. My favorite rapper is Jay-Z. And in one of those stages, he said, "I come from the real hood, and I did it my way," which is whenever I die or whenever that comes up, that's the song that I want everybody to play. It doesn't matter, either or. You can play either one of them, but I'm a big, like I said, I did it. That when I go out, I want to be able to go out saying that I did it my way. And how he starts. So actually, no, it got to be Jay part. But I would like them to play it with you don't got to give me Jay-Z's bars. I just need the intro to Jay-Z and then sing Sinatra. But he's like, I'm from the real hood, like the real hood, not the rap hood, like a pair of shoes and again, things that I grew up with. Like the reason why I do certain things the way I do them is trauma. James, why do you have a wall full of shoes? Because every year I got a pair of white shoes and a pair of black shoes. You don't need these other different shoes. You need these shoes because these shoes match everything. I got a pair of jeans, a pair of khakis, and you know what happened when I mess up my jeans or they get too big? She cut them at the kneecaps and then she hemmed them. And you know what I have now? I have jean shorts. I wore shirts from the rec leagues that I played in the school. I had some nice stuff because I was, part of it too is not just not having money, it's being resourceful. And I was a growing boy. But do you know how, especially with me, when I hit puberty early, like I stretched out quick. So Trey comes in, but they wear their clothes a little slim now again. But Trey stretches out. I'm not gonna have my son in some boy shorts. I'm gonna go take him to the fucking store and go make something happen, man. Like I had to rock what I had to rock, and I got a big ass birthmark on my left leg. And kids during that time did not understand things. They just picked on people. Oh, you're different, so we're gonna we didn't have anti-bullying things. We had survival. I'm saying that to say is it grew a toughness in me to be like, I don't want to do that. I need kids like that. I need kids with red, technically I do this too, but like JEA, when your light's about to get cut off, they send you this little red card and it's little perforated edges, and it tells you you better pay your bill by this day or we're going to disconnect your services. I need that. I need 5-day pay or vacates. Because you're coming with a hunger sometimes that's different than everybody else's. And when I see kids who aren't from those situations, I need kids with chips on their shoulders. I'm going to tell you why I think my son's going to be great. My son lives to play against black kids who from the hood. You know why? He gets an opportunity to prove that he's black. They don't think he's black because he has 2 parents and that he has shit. So he's like, oh man, I get a chance to prove. We have guys who have nothing to prove because everybody they've given them privilege, even if they're in a bad situation. I need guys who really want to get their mom. I don't want guys talking about getting their mama out the apartments. I want guys who really want to get their mama out the apartments through their play. And it's a mentality that has not been beat into kids because everybody is basically poaching off of these kids. And that's not right. We want the best. But I think a lot of these guys are happy with the logo and happy with the idea that they're coming from a situation or an environment that that is supposed to be tough, if that makes any sense. So it's time to make some changes. But you know who does have a culture and an environment that there's some badasses? There's some babs. Let me see. Can we make a new word? Babe. Badass bitch excellence. No, I don't like that. I don't like how that one feels. We'll just say babs. Badass bitches. Our soccer team is that, man. Our soccer team is nice. Big time road win against number 2 Georgetown. Not only did they win, they beat smart girls. Because Georgetown's one of the good universities. Number 2 team in the nation. Won 3-1. That's a dominating win. That's a solid performance in soccer. Our girls are nice. NCAA quarterfinal. We are a football school, people. Stop thinking we're not. With football. Excuse me. Those girls, I wish I knew more about soccer so I could talk about them more. top 25 matchup scores in the rest of the NCAA that I did not watch because I was out there supporting my son's team. That brought me to, I gotta just push this. Man, 14 weeks. Ohio State, Texas A&M, Georgia, Notre Dame, Alabama, Vanderbilt, Miami, Pitt. Not Pitt. We'll go back to that one. No, those are shootouts. And Tennessee all just whip people's asses. USC and Oregon made a great matchup. Did you hear what the reporter asked Lincoln Riley? Let me see if it's still in my stories. Because Lincoln Riley just gave him the James Franklin treatment. Like, that's absolutely the dumbest question that I've ever heard in my life. Damn. Somebody sent it to me. Did Jib send this to me? Because Jib want to be Jaden so bad. Like, not in joke. Like, Jib be, so like, this is my guy, Jib, right? Is all he sends me, sports stories. Like, he just sends me stuff just because I know you're busy, right? He sent me something with Plies. Plies looks younger now than he did when he played. Okay, nah, it wasn't Jib that sent it to me. I don't know who sent it to me. Anyways, maybe we'll find it later. But basically, it's a lot of blowouts. Oregon USC looked like Oregon established dominance early. USC just played consistent throughout. Missouri, without having their quarterback, is not looking very great right now. Shout out to my guy Derek Nicholson. But that Missouri Oklahoma game just looks ugly. I told you guys the Fran Brown thing was going to kind of wear on folks, even though I think he's a good man and a good coach and means well. But at a certain point, we have to kind of tailor our hood image. I mean, he's from the hood, guys. Like, he's from real. Like, Camden is not a good school. It's not a good place. My son about to get cussed out. My bad. I get these grade updates. Does anybody else get grade updates to their phone with their kids? Probably not the best way to see. Yeah, not a good look. Y'all pray for y'all boy. Y'all pray for y'all internet nephew, because he about to get cussed the fuck out when he gets home. Utah, Kansas State in the shootout. Just some good games of college football. Don't let your favorite team ruin your weekend. College football has never been more exciting than it is now. Don't let the people tell you some things like, guys, it is great. It's a great thing. Hold on. Going to the next thing. This week's top 25 poll. Probably not much changing. No real upsets. Notre Dame's doing their thing with the statement games. Miami's in purgatory because it's going to look like they're in the college football playoff, and couldn't happen to better people. Remember what you guys did to us? Payback's a motherfucker. I can't wait to host you at the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, played on December 27th at 7:30 p.m. in Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida. I got you. The best tickets you'll get is by subscribing to this channel. Please do. Georgia Tech had a spark when they started, but now they just garbage. Just, fell from top 10 to not mentioned at all. But all jokes aside, the ACC definitely. What's crazy is Miami's going to be the highest ranked ACC team and not play in the ACC championship. And they're going to hold that against them because, shit, well, only one team they played is ranked. Louisville's not ranked. Louisville's not in there, right? Nope. So it's going to probably be Virginia and Pitt or SMU in the championship. And Miami will be. All this speaks well for the Gator Bowl, Miles. That's all I care about at this point. Georgia Tech, I love to have Georgia Tech. This is the best bowl game they've ever been. Diamond's son gonna be here. You know what kind of access I'm gonna get? We're gonna get Florida High, good shit from Florida High. I get 850 prep. Man, we got some Jacksonville boys coming. Dog, I'm gonna be all in there. I'm gonna be all over there. And they can only take so many SEC teams. So ATM, Georgia, Ole Miss, OU. Let's just say those are the guys that are going up. Put Alabama in there. Say let's get 5. Okay, cool. Vanderbilt ain't never been here before. Tennessee would be a great. Tennessee, Georgia Tech would be great. But imagine a world where you're like, we have the greatest coach of all time, the Lion-ass Cuban. We've got great recruiting classes. Miami is where it's at. Protect the U, the crib. And you don't go anywhere with all of that. That don't, like, I'd be honest with you, like I said, we watching the ACC championship at the same place. The bowl game is not for me. The bowl game is for me to watch. I just remember what it was like as a child when bowl season started. One, I like Christmas. I'm a big Christmas fan. Not because of the gifts. It's just everybody's fucking happy. And they're singing. And like white people are joyous. Like I used to really think that white people Christmas was like all Hallmark. Like everywhere white people were at, it snowed. Like in a good snow. Like not that snow that's like hard to drive in and that you don't want to be a part of. It just felt like Christmas, right? Hold on. Put me on pause real quick. When that happens. Uh-oh. Yeah, all kinds of people hitting me up right now. But the song I remember growing up, it's the most Capital One Bowl week. It's the most wonderful week of the year. They'll sing all the teams that are gonna be playing, and everyone's telling you be a good cheer. It's the most happiest week of the year. Capital One Bowl week. Like you get to watch football all week. We just have to wait for this kind of shit. Like it's about to come a time where we'll have, like I think is it this week where we won't have a day without football. Like that is heaven. I just genuinely like watching football. Like I don't think you guys understand the pleasure I get from it. Because I, as an offensive guy, I always watch to see how you beat the defense, even when it's my favorite teams. But anyway, so that's the rankings, all of that stuff right there. It's the season's coming to an end, and then it will be over, and then everybody will be complaining about, oh man, I miss football, even though you just complained and bitched for 4 months about how bad your team was. Shit happens, man. I love it though. Going to the next thing. Might have to power through. Are we going to the NFL now? No, Lane Kiffin. Got to talk about Lane. FSU, LSU, and Ole Miss are set to offer Lane Kiffin in the 13th. NIL is ruining college, right? But a coach who's never won anything, like anything. The only championship he's won is the Gator Bowl championship. Like he's never won a conference. He's never been in a playoff. Never won a natty. He's coached for one, but he was with the greatest coach of all time. Not my problem. Love capitalism. I think calling my shot. I think Lane's already signed to where he's at. I think Lane has signed a memorandum of understanding, which means basically a contract to the University of Florida. If I had to guess. And that's been in the works since the beginning of this season.
You, for the average fan, because that's always confusing me. Explain to me, like, what is the pot of money? So you got money for recruits, you got money for coaches, you got money for whatever U.S. football things. What is the pot? How does it get divvied up into different sections? Are they coming from different sections,
yes,
or is it all one?
So you have So it's one, you have athletics operational budget that gets divided by the different sports there are, basically per student athlete. That's basically where your scholarship money comes from at ETC. You have excuse me, a lot of schools have like an athletic fee or like per student. So that goes toward funding athletics. So like it may be like something like $230 or some shit like that, but it's in your tuition.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna go into some other things that are cool. So the state of Florida, and some states already had this. The state of Florida has now passed that you can use the discretion. You used to not be able to use housing, room and board, to finance your athletic department. But now you can use those funds to do whatever, because all of that shit is oversold. Like some of them old dorms, like I don't know if y'all had them in Penn State, but ours was, we called it the projects. It was Smith, Kellum, and Sally halls. Them things had been built like in the 50s, and they were still around. Miss me with the fact you're still, like, that was pure profit at that point. And they kept raising how much it cost per semester to stay there. So you can use that, but then you have your booster money. Booster money kind of goes toward paying for athletes, but it also pays to supplement the income of the head coach that is negotiated on behalf of the athletic director with the president of the boosters. Then there's NIL, which is NIL is how you're supposed to pay the players. But now with the new House settlement, the schools have to take a percentage of their funds. It also goes to the booster, to the athletic budget for the university, is the contracts, the TV contract money, and this all that stuff. So now, percentage of the TV contract money has to go back to the student athletes, which goes to your NIL.
Is that your biggest income's coming from?
Right now, but that's new.
Okay.
So before all of this was hand to hand fundraising. So what happens is a old white guy, and I'm sorry, I'm not saying this as to be racist, it's just those are the ones who have all the money. Or the Spanx lady, but I don't think she's with us at Florida State quite yet. We're trying to court her. Old white guy comes in and says, I want to pay it. Like, it's basically Cartman from South Park. And it's why I say things like, you don't like the way I say it. I really don't care if people like the way I say it, because that's just the way it is. I want to own people one day. If I was a billionaire, I'd own people. I think I would be a good owner. And it just so happens that an old white man, or multiple old white men, pay American citizens, most of which are brown, black, brown, or even some Latino, and white indentured servants, to go out into the hot sun on grass fields and work, while there's a person, an overseer, if you will, that blows a whistle and yells at them and threatens them if they don't do their job and generate the product, that they're going to go and get rid of them and go get some other ones. We just basically found a way to pay for slavery. It's not a problem. I listen, get mad all you want. Say, James, you're exaggerating, but that's what it looks like and what it is. But those people choose to be in it. Like technically it's all a choice. But that's what's going on. That's how these things get paid.
I just don't understand why you can't save money on coaches to pay for more.
You could, and that's where the theory of Mike Norvell giving back $4 million is. So he's giving money toward the NIL, towards the NIL to get paid more players.
So that's just like a market NFL. Like NFL, you want a young rookie quarterback, so you can get the price. And I can't do that in play with coaches.
I think you should. And I think they should get paid. I think Lane Kiffin should get paid $5 million to come to Florida with the ability to make 20 if he hits what they want. But they're not on the hook for the 20. They give them, like, what happens in contracts is all the time you have bonuses. You have things that you hit. You have the bonuses. The reason why you get big bonuses for hitting a national championship, because it's damn near impossible to do it.
Right.
But you give them 5-win bowl eligible bonus. You give them 8-win bonus, 10-win bonus, or you go bowl eligible, and you get $1 million each win after that. Hey. You give playoff bonus. You give this. I don't care about that, because you know why? You're earning that. And I'm not on the hook every year. So if you suck, I save $15 million. Right. If you're the best possible, you get 20. The reality is I'm probably going to pay somewhere in between that. And you know what you don't get to do? You don't get to be lazy. All of the things that they say athletes do somehow magically, because of human nature, somehow magically does not apply to head coaches. But I also think Lane's going to Florida, not just from sources, but because his family lives in Florida. His dead father-in-law was a bull gator. And they got the family back. Because you know what season it always is? It is always get your girl back season. Now, with Ole Miss, the problem that they're having and what they're entertaining, and what I try to do with people, I'm in this situation now. I'm not gonna sit and wait for you to seal my fate. I'm going to force your hand. You're either going to take this offer or you're going to move on. But Ole Miss is that person that Ole Miss is singing that song, I'm Telling You, from Dreamgirls, because they know they can't get nothing better than Ole Miss. And Lane knows this shit. And he's pulling the Jimbo Fisher to FSU on Ole Miss, except for FSU, even though we haven't proven it, we're battered. We're we're mentally traumatized because of the Jimbo Fisher relationship, that we're actually allowed them to cheat on us every week, with not just with good people who are better, but just random ass broads, and then go get married on us while we're going through terrible, bitter divorces, and now we're entertaining trying to go back to that because we know what that is. When we have rings and we have people who want us, Florida State was a Tyler Perry movie. The light-skinned gardener wanted to come save us from the dark-skinned dude from Law and Order. Who was the light-skinned gardener? James Franklin wanted to save us and wanted to show us how good of a pretty woman we are and how we deserve more. You deserve the finer things, Florida State. Let me bring them to you. Meanwhile, the dark-skinned dude from Law and Order is telling us, you're ugly. I hate Jesus. got their feet up on the table, drinking natty lights. I'm just joking, Mike. That's not you, baby. I'm just really just giving Mike. I'm sorry. I'm just really just giving a really big thing. But basically, I take Mike over Jimbo. That now we're looking at a person that we may have liked some time ago, but that really, truly didn't care about us. It didn't just leave us. Leaving us is one thing, but they made sure we knew they pointed at every insecurity that we had on the way out to go with the project video vixen who didn't have anything in their best interest. That's what Ole Miss is doing. But Ole Miss is over here with the snot Viola Davis cry.
They're so mad.
Singing, and I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best man I've ever known. And there's no way I can ever, no way. No way. I'm living without you. And Lane is over here looking at them like, hey, sometimes the streets be calling. He like, the streets be calling me. That's what Lane is saying. He's entertaining it. Because what's crazy is Ole Miss got the bread to match any offer that any of them cats give him.
No, Lane is mercenary. There we go.
He is, man. Lane is Lane. And then he's going to Hogtown. And so this does let me know Lane's grown up. You know why it lets me know Lane's grown up? Because when Lane was at FAU, and then he went, I was like, man, you know what? Oxford got some bad white women, apparently. Lane was out here smashing, getting with chicks while he was living his best life, the best divorce life. But maybe he's like, I ain't got time to chase all that tail. I'm old. He's going to Gainesville. And I promise you, dog, the bras ain't that nice down there. But gotta love drama. Gotta love all of this stuff. Nothing gets more clicks and boosts sites more than coaching searches. So, go back to the next thing. Lane is expected to. That announcement on Lane Kiffin's future is expected the day after the Egg Bowl. Do we have the top? Let me go back and look at the top 25 matchups. I mean, the top 25 poll. What's wild in all of this? Ole Miss sits at 6. He's going to the college football playoff, and you wonder why the kids don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
He's literally everything that you tell people you want to do. He is there. Like he's not losing to Mississippi State. And you know what he doesn't have to do? He doesn't have another game until the playoff game.
Imagine the lies of dedication he told them during the season. We're gonna see this thing through. They don't believe you can do it.
That's why I'm gonna be if I coach college, I'd be one of the greatest college coaches ever.
Say whatever.
Well, not just that. I'm gonna tell him the truth. Hey man, come here. And I'm gonna tell him what my man Fran Brown said. You come here, I'm gonna help you get some bread, and I'm gonna make sure that if it doesn't work here, we're gonna make sure you leave into the best possible situation. Because I damn sure ain't trying to stay here. I'm trying to get that guap, bro. I want to be $1 million assistant coach. And the only way I can become $1 million assistant coach is to get y'all to do what I need y'all to do. If you do what I need you to do and I do what you need me to do, we going to all walk away here with some money. And I will help you. If it's not working out, I will help put you in the best situation so that you can go somewhere and get some guapanese. Because that's all these guys are. Miss me with, I need a coach that's a good Christian. I need a coach who's a father. I need a coach who's a this. I need a coach who's a that. Man, I need a winner. Sorry. Just the truth, man. Sorry. Go on to the next thing. We may not end up not. What do we got? Cal fires their head coach. Okay. UAB player stabs a teammate. God damn. A shocking scene unfolded at UAB as D lineman Daniel Mincy. Why does that name sound so familiar?
That last name.
I know he had Jeremy Mincy for the Jags, but that's not why. Like, I think he's a guy we either missed on at Florida State and then everybody was mad, or like he's from Cardinal Gibbons. Oh, he's from Fort Lauderdale. He really. Oh yeah, man. He wildin'.
Yo, they are doing weird things with the graphic. This is
his brother was at Florida. That might be why I remember them. Gerald Mincy. Okay.
Not an off-putting graphic for anybody else.
That they got weird. Kentucky on there. Like, what does Kentucky have to do with this? It's a terrible graphic. It's like an awful graphic.
Yeah.
Like we know, like it's a commit.
Yeah.
I know you're not supposed to joke about things like this, but I'm Daniel Mincy. No, I'm saying I'm Daniel Mincy, and I'm committed to Saratoga Penitentiary. But yeah, man. Ooh. This is why I tell people, man, stop fucking with people's grits. Shocking scene unfolded. He stabbed two of his teammates during breakfast. Do not mess. One thing I learned with our line: do not mess with them and their food. Both players were rushed to UAB hospital and are in stable condition, and thankfully their injuries are believed to be non-life threatening. And the university said the suspect is in custody. And there's nothing to suspect. He either stabbed them bitches or he didn't. UAB released a statement saying their top priority remains the safety and well-being of all students and confirmed that the investigation is underway. Despite the chaos, UAB is still scheduled to host USF this afternoon. Did they win, though? What was the score? It's a lot going on there, man. You banging? You mad at breakfast, dog? You banging at breakfast? Like, too many people have to prove how gangster they are, and then now you know what though? I think he's prepared for where he's going. You know, maybe he won't. Like, if they don't handle this right now, they may not do more. But like, I mean, if they don't handle it, like give him like something. Don't just give him a slap on the wrist.
I hope not.
Like, because he's gonna do something else. Like this man clearly needs help.
Don't get it confused. No, we say we like sluggish players, like blockheads.
Yeah, but like yeah, they got it, but they understand the opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. This is something different.
It's mutual. Again, the cool. You ever notice that? Would you ever? This is what was wild about prison stuff. So the thing that when I watch the shorts and stuff like that, you have a room or a house full of some of the most crazy, demented people that were so bad that we had to take them away from society. And we put them in a situation where they're in cages, but there's only like 10 to 15 people watching them at any given time. And you know what they all do? Behave. Like, yeah, they may have fights. They have their own politics, but they don't get out of pocket. Does anybody like... So it shows me that they have a willingness to figure things out. But like, so that's what I mean. Like, basically, you're getting those people to do that in the real world and not have to go to jail to get that structure. So yeah, it's a more positive way to help. Because a lot of times they just want to be seen. They want to be told, yeah, man, good boy. The crime. No, the evil. What you call crime.
You call it like it's a different list. We call it something else.
We call it evil. What you call crime. Murder a wild boy, dog. But that's why that's a wild thing to be like. I've had to call my mom about some dumb shit. But that last thing I want to, because you ain't even got no real knife. Probably it's probably a butter knife.
Yeah.
They done fired their coach. They just got a lot of crazy shit going on in Birmingham, man. NFL Sunday scores. We'll go over that real quick. Kansas City came back to beat the Colts 23-20. I'm starting to believe the scripted shit a little bit. Because some of this shit doesn't make sense. Like it's not full. Like, how do you go a whole game without scoring and then score really, really fast all the time?
Right.
And that doesn't make any sense. Seahawks won 30-24 against the Titans. Green Bay beat the shit out of the Vikings. The Ravens are coming back now, are starting to act like the Ravens now that Lamar is back. Lions beat the Giants in something that didn't make sense. The Bears beat Pittsburgh. The Patriots are still winning. The Cleveland Shadur Browns are winning. The Jags won. The Cowboys beat the Eagles, which is wild. The Falcons beat the hell out of the Saints. And then the Rams just said, nah, we're not following the script. We're gonna beat this team down just because. I had a great analogy, but I found the greatest analogy moving forward that we will use, because one of the things I wish people defended me the way that they defend Trevor Lawrence. Like, I think I would be so much more confident to do all things if I had the defenders that Trevor Lawrence has. And so Trevor, the guy said, so Trevor led the Jags to a win. He's also the only reason that they were losing.
Right.
We read a stat on Friday that was incredibly crazy. That Trevor was three touchdowns to 7 interceptions when leading. Trevor threw 2 touchdowns, I believe. ETN scored 1. It was a receiving touchdown. No, yeah, he threw 2 touchdowns, and then they kicked a field goal. They kicked 2 field goals? I know the box is there somewhere. Oh, here we go. James, just put your thumb on the box. Put your thumb in the box, bro. You got this right here. 27-24 was the outcome. No, Trevor threw 3 touchdowns, and he really threw 4 interceptions. The thick six, they call it a strip sack. And it just landed right in that man's hands. So now Trevor has 6 touchdowns and 10 interceptions when leading.
That's disgusting. I don't even know how you.
I might be wrong on that because I think one of those touchdowns came when they were trailing. So he had to come back and bring them back in the lead. Trevor is the arsonist, but he's also the fireman. He starts the fire, but he also is the one who puts the fire out so people cheer. And what I said on my guy Duval Dive, Travis Holmes show was he said they're saying Trevor is clutch. You don't get to be called clutch when you're the reason why you're in the situation. Like I said, clutch like a purse or clutch like an individual who makes big time plays in big time games. Since 2020, I believe is what the stat was, or 2021, in the NFL, teams are 50-0 when they have a +4 turnover margin. Except for yesterday. The Jags are now making history. The Jags defense played well, but it looks like they got torched in the passing game because they kept getting put in bad situations. They had Jacoby Brissett fearing for his life. And this is all without Trayvon, all without Trayvon. Devin Lloyd continues to prove why he should be an all-pro because the Jacksonville's defense has been exponentially better since he got back into the lineup from injury. Both of his penalties were bullshit. And it happens. But the Jags on defense looked good. And on offense looked really good at times. It gives you hope. But there's one common denominator that just keeps doing things that just make everybody wonder what is wrong with you. But I can't just blame Trevor. I got to put it on Liam. Why do you keep forcing him to try to make plays? Why don't we put a governor on the amount of pass plays that he has? Why, when you got the game won, they have no time outs left. It is 4th and 1. Kick the field goal. Make them have to drive down the field to score a touchdown. Make them have to do something that they have proven that they are struggling to do. Unless the offense gives them half a field. One of the touchdowns was after Trevor threw an interception that he shouldn't have thrown. And the DB bites on the double move. When he's in a situation where he doesn't need to bite, just keep him in front of you. It's just times when they have the collective IQ, football IQ of the Jaguars is -2. And it's frustrating because you know what they can do and how much better they should be. Right now, what the picture is, you see a sack that comes from that Devin Lloyd and Gardeck are making. I just talked about the NFL team. My bad. I apologize. I said it's been in 25 years. The NFL teams are now 50-1 with the +4 turnover differential the past 25 years. Your Arizona Cardinals keep finding new ways to lose in 2025. That was one of the tweets that we have up. Jags PR. 43-yard punt return sets up a Jacksonville Parker Washington's 3 punt returns of 40+ yards leads the NFL. Parker Washington is a cheat code. He's done a good job to make himself everybody's friends and loves. And we go back to the Daniel Griffiths updated his his post. So Trevor has 3 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. He has a 1-3 touchdown to interception ratio. You did not read that wrong. It's a 1-3 touchdown to interception ratio. With that, Trevor has 11 interceptions, 14 14 touchdowns, but I believe he's got 15 total turnovers or something like that. What's wilder is this guy, he also goes into breaking down this even further. Trevor has 13 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, I guess, over his career when he's in, my bad, when he's in the huddle. He's got 8 of his interceptions this year are from the shotgun. All 11 of his interceptions are not off of play action. That's a wild stat, man. It's a really wild stat when you really sit down and you think about it and you chew on it. But AFC South contenders remaining, and this is where it becomes critical for Trevor to be the leader and grow up. Because if he grows up, here's what's wild: if he grows up, the Jaguars are 9-2 and leading the division comfortably, and that will put the Texans basically out of contention, and then you only have to worry about the Colts. The cool thing is that the Colts have to face the Jags and the Texans 4 times in the last 6 games. They also play the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. That's 6 teams that are all vying for playoff contention. They have no ducks. The Jags have play the Titans twice, which I don't even think Titans have 2 wins. And they play the Colts. So if the Jags take care of business with 3 of their games and they can split the series with the Colts, they have an excellent chance of making sure that they're in that they win the division. If not, make sure they secure a spot in the playoff. Probably 3 wins they're in. 3 wins they're in. So I always say that win 10 and you're in. And so that'll be fine. The Texans, however, have control over their destiny as well. They have 2 games against the Colts. They play the Kansas City Chiefs, who are not as good as they have been in the past, but they're still good nonetheless. Arizona Cardinals, who can score on you, and the Raiders, all of those guys aren't any good, and the Chargers are still in playoff contention as well. So there's a lot of things going on. And the best thing about all of this, as bad as the Jaguars are played, we're talking about meaningful games in December, and we're not talking about the draft. Patriots are the first team to 10 wins. We'll keep some of this other stuff. Let's get to we may talk about some of this other stuff at another time. Let's get to Shedeur Sanders, because that's always going to do stuff. But if we're going to talk about Shedeur in a bad way, let's talk, or in a not so positive light, let's talk about him in a positive light. Shedeur Sanders is the first Cleveland Browns quarterback to win his first start. And that's really impressive. 11 for 20 passing, so just below 50%. 209 yards throwing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He did enough to make his team win. He played against a team that was equally as bad, and he showed poise. And that's enough to get your OC fired. So Chip Kelly's on the market. Please, Florida State, do not go to Chip Kelly. I think Shedeur, good job on Shedeur. Shedeur Sanders, that one, if you click on the next one, that hoodie is cold as fuck. But yeah, Shedeur, my bad. Let me rephrase that. Shedeur Sanders is the first Browns quarterback to win his first career start since 1999. Prior to that, Browns quarterbacks had been 0-17 in their first starts, the longest such stretch in NFL history. That is a cold ass sweatsuit. Maybe it's just me, but that looks great.
Logo.
Yeah. Closing in on history, defensive end Myles Garrett had 3 sacks today versus the Raiders and is now 18 sacks on the season. The NFL record is for a season is 22.5. He needs 5 sacks in 6 games to get the record. That's probably going to get broken. So kudos to Myles Garrett on doing something very impressive. Let's talk about the NFC South. Welcome to Saints Falcon on game day Atlanta series dating back 1967 it's the 56 and 56 wins 2,471 points to 2,409 points. Average score 22 points. Average score 21 and a half points. That is awesomeness. Awesome sauce. And we'll talk about one more thing before I have to hop on this call. Let's just go to our big games BS or busting segment. We'll finish early. World cuisines. Oh, this is take cinnamon rolls. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like pound cake. That's what it is, right? Pound cake.
Yeah, it's lemon.
Yeah, lemon pound cake. It's amazing. This is the last one. What? See, I think that's too much going on. So like the cinnamon, it's gonna be super rich. And like, I don't know if I want a chocolate chip cinnamon flavor.
Oh,
I think I like them separate. Yeah, I think I like them separate. I don't know. I don't want that. That's just not.
Just cut it off.
Yeah. Just give me a cookie and then give me a cinnamon roll. I don't need them both together. And I don't want the drizzle on top of that. So it looks wild. But on that note, man, appreciate you guys for hanging out with us on this Monday. Make sure you go check out the different things that we have. I may end up doing an extra show tomorrow because we have more time this weekend. Wednesday we have playoff Mandarins in the playoffs. We do have the coverage. I probably have an announcement about some stuff. Hopefully tomorrow. I'll be, we'll have our FSU segment with Mark Rogers. All kinds of different things, man. I'm actually lying to my bed. I'm with you. She said we need more creativity. Chocolate chip. And you know what I would have eaten that with? Snickerdoodle. I'm a big snickerdoodle cookie guy. So I like those. But just please check out the channel. We are close. Oh, so close. And I promise everybody, like, if you're listening to this and you've won, I think my guy Jackson, he sent me the games that he's won. I probably win. I've saved money by switching my insurance to Geico and also making sure I pick the NFL games right. So I think I'm winning this week, and I won last week. Okay. So like I'm saving myself a couple dollars, saving myself $100 on that. But we are 6,905. We are, what is that, 95 away from the 7,000. So let's get to that 7,000 mark, guys. Let's continue to do these different things. Appreciate you guys showing the network love. Want to continue to grow the network. Any type of I'm looking into expanding different things in 2026 with some of the help that I'm getting as far as internships and stuff like that. If there's other things that you would like to see more of or see us talk about more of, feel free to inform me and we will go from that. Also, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and also think about becoming a member. And Miles, when do you think we'll be trying to make the Discord?
Are we gonna invite everybody, or are we
I want anybody.
Everybody?
I want everybody to come in. Right now, it's free. We'll have the Discord be just like how the channel is. So you come in free, and then if you want to pay for your memberships through Discord so that a little bit more goes towards the channel and helping us grow this, we can switch those things as well. We'll just, like, that's where we'll make those same announcements that we make on the YouTube channel. So guys, just let me know. We want to be able to grow that, continue to bring that, and have our different segments, especially the hood movies and the white movies that we need to be watching.
Experience moderating, or you want to get some experience, I need help moderating. So I'm gonna need some mods. Yeah, just hit me up. Yeah, we can start that. It's already set up. I was just worried about opening the floodgates. If everybody's joining.
I mean, I'm sure people will take their time to do it anyway, as everything. We can't even get people to just like and subscribe. So it's going to be even harder with the Discord. So on that note, appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. We'll see you guys next time.